Few incredible facts about animals. Number 1. Elephants walk around in their tiptoes. An elephant's foot is designed in such a way that they actually walk on the tips of their toes. An X-ray of an elephant's foot will reveal that its bones are actually standing on tiptoe. Their feet are flat because of a large pad of gristle under each heel, which acts as a shock absorber and helps them walk quietly. Number 2. Cats can't taste sweet at all. Cats only have 470 taste buds. Compare this to 1,700 in dogs and 9,000 in humans. Of those limited taste receptors in feline mouths, none are programmed to taste sweetness. The ability to taste sweetness comes from two coupled proteins generated by two genes. While cats have these two genes, one gene is broken by human standards. A full 247 of the base pairs are missing from the gene's DNA. The result? Cats can't taste sweetness. From teeth to tail, cats' bodies are optimized for this type of meat-based diet. Besides not able to taste the sweetness, cats can't synthesize vitamin A. They have to get it from animals. They lack salivary amylase that breaks down carbohydrates in the mouth, and they have an inhibited insulin response. These are just a few of the ways that the feline body tells us that it doesn't need sugar. Number 3. Cockroaches have been around for at least 300 million years. That's 100 million years even before the dinosaurs evolved. If a cockroach loses an egg, it can grow another. So, in case if a cockroach loses its leg, don't get worried. It can grow another. Number 4. The mammals, which is presumed to have the slowest heartbeat of any warm-blooded animal, is the blue whale, Balanoptera musculus, with between 4 to 8 beats per minute. During a dive, it can conserve oxygen by slowing down to just 2 beats a minute. The low rate probably allows the whales to temporarily redistribute the oxygen to muscles throughout their body as they lung through the water. Number 5. An octopus will eat itself. It becomes extremely stressed. Octopuses have been proved to be suffering from self-cannibalism. This process is also called autophagy, which occurs when the animal is stressed. When any animal, including the octopus, is stressed, it is not considered to be a healthy sign. This is because stress further results in increasing the chances of infection. It is also believed that this process is initiated by a bacteria or a virus that finds a way out to take control over the stressed octopus. The biting process helps the octopus in getting rid of the infected arm, and it is hoped that a healthy arm regrows. Number 6. A cockroach can live for more than a week after its head had been cut off. Eventually, it starves to death. A headless cockroach isn't going to die from bleeding, and it's not going to die from being unable to breathe. It's also not going to die from the relatively minor event for it of losing its brain. But it is going to die from being unable to eat. And well before that, it's going to die from thirst. A headless cockroach has no mouth to drink with and will be dead from dehydration in less than a week, which brings the total day count from the moment it loses its head to the moment it loses its life to somewhere around 7 days or less. Not exactly a lot, but a lot more than you or I could imagine to do. Unlike humans, cockroaches don't breathe through a nose or a mouth. Instead, they breathe through small holes in their bodies called spiracles that don't need a brain to direct them. No mouth, no nose, and no need for a brain to regulate your breathing, which means that you can breathe all you want without head. Choose that the control reflexes throughout their body, and these are distributed with each body segment. If a cockroach loses its head and brain, the nerve tissues known as the nerve tissue agglomerations continue during their job, providing the strange headless creature a fairly normal life. can stand, react to touch, and move around. Quite creepy, isn't it? Number 7. A snail can sleep for 3 years straight. They're slow, gooey, and seem completely lost. But what you don't know is that these small gastropods have insanely unique sleeping habits. Snails need moisture to survive. So if the weather is not cooperating, they can actually sleep up to 3 years. Snails are mostly awake during night time because it's moist and humid compared to when the sun comes out during the daytime. Snails need humidity because it allows them to produce the mucus that lets them slide from place to place. But what happens when there's no humidity whatsoever? When the weather is extremely hot or cold, snails can stay inside their shell for long periods. In some extreme cases, where there are long periods of extreme weather, snails will sleep for 3 years, although it is not very common. If you put it into perspective, a snail could spend 1/3 of its life sleeping. It's important to mention that a snail not only goes into hibernation but also goes into estivation. Hibernation is a period in which an animal goes through prolonged dormancy to avoid having to forage for food or migrate to a warmer area. Estivation, also called summer sleep, on the other hand, is a period of prolonged dormancy during hot and dry periods. It may be easy to assume that the gastropod is dead, but don't jump to conclusions when you see an immobile snail in the garden. It may be just taking a power nap. Number 8. Rhinoceros horn is made of hair. The word rhinoceros is a combination of two Greek words. Rhino means nose and ceros means horn. A rhino's horn is not attached to its skull. It's actually a compacted mass of hairs that continue to grow throughout the animal's lifetime, just like our own hair and nails. Rhino horns are made of the same material as your hair or nails, a protein called keratin. The center of the rhino horn is made of calcium, surrounded by a thick keratin layer. This is unique in the animal kingdom as horns of other animals have a bony center. This softness allows rhinos to sharpen their horns by rubbing them against a tree. Number 9. Polar bears have jet black skin under their white fur coats. It helps them absorb heat to keep warm, while the white fur helps provide camouflage in the snowy and icy environment they live. Two hypotheses as to why having black skin is essential to polar bears are both related to the sun. First, darker colors are better at absorbing heat from the sun, which is an advantage to a polar bear trying to stay warm in the Arctic. Second, the dark color likely protects the bear against harmful UV radiation from the sun. So number 10. Animals with smaller bodies and faster metabolisms such as flies, chipmunks and squirrels see in slow motion. This allows them to see more information in 1 second than a larger animal like an elephant. This means that they can observe movement on a finer time scale than bigger creatures, allowing them to escape from larger predators. Insects and small birds, for example, can see more information in 1 second than a larger animal such as an elephant.